Stay tuned for a special presentation.
It's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Let's do it!
Dracarys.
We have got ourselves a more Solly situation on a Subscriber Friday here on the CzabeCast. Scott Lynn, Solly, is unavailable tonight, and we let him go do his thing without malice or innuendo.
Malice aforethought?
Without malice or innuendo. However, are we sure he's not still mad at me for blowing you guys off on Monday morning after I
may not be happy. He may not be happy about that, but I think he has children things and work things, and
so he's not going to go out of his way since I fucked you guys on the Lynn Murray Solly podcast. Now with even less Murray than ever, available on Patreon. Still free trial in the month of April. Correct?
Yes, all free, all month long. Give it a try. Absolutely free.
Absolutely free.
Yes,
exactly. If my Masters picks don't hit, then my St. Jude FedEx Classic picks are absolutely free. On a recorded
David is picking
Justin Rose.
Exactly. Round one of the Masters is wrapping up right now, so you'll have to tune in to the Capital Golf Gang. And by tune in, I mean download and listen to that podcast. I'm going to record that at 9 p.m. tonight. It's 6:30 on a Thursday. We have a lot of stuff beyond the Masters to talk about. But I always love to talk.
Head pro at Beacon Hill, John Ronis, going to be on that podcast tonight?
Yes, Solly.
I heard
How do
that
you
news.
know?
I heard it on the radio. It was on the business report of
really?
Beacon Hill Golf Club is reopening, and they've hired a new pro, John Ronis. I heard that on the radio, so I was like, John Ronis, that's my buddy.
I know that guy. Yeah,
I know that guy.
Ronis
cool.
got the gig. The golf course had gone dark. It'd been in a coma, barely preserved for almost 20 years.
How does that happen to a golf course? Don't they, after like 2 years, aren't they like, well, let's just sell the place, turn it into an old folks' home and get some money? Or they just kept it and lost money for 19 years? I guess if you're rich, that's okay.
No, that's Solly. These are all great, insightful questions, which you, with a curious, nimble mind, ask good, insightful, curious questions. So the answer is this golf course was built in the middle of $1 million McMansion neighborhood.
Okay.
And so therefore, not only could you not repurpose the land that it was on, but that the value of the homes was tied quite intricately with there being a championship golf course and private club associated. But money being money, it doesn't grow on trees. What's our saying about money? Everybody needs money. That's why they call it money. They didn't have the money. This also was, by the way, Spurrier's favorite course when he coached here for those 2 brief and utterly hopeless years, because he could get out there from Redskins Park in a matter of 10 minutes and get 9 holes in before the sun went down, even in the summer when he was trying to get the team ready to play winning football at Redskin Park in August.
I must see, too busy golfing. That's his problem.
Yeah.
That's why he failed here, I guess.
So what happened is immediately after the place went bankrupt, there was people that were owed money. So the people that were owed money, some of them came out and salvaged what they could. They ripped irrigation lines and sprinkler boxes
they
literally
took all,
out of the ground. Yes,
all 18 flags from the holes. Yoink.
Well, there's
Parade
not much
golf carts leaving like a motorcade. Huh? Every golf cart's out of there.
No, but a Toro 850 rotor head that's got a
I guess so.
75-foot radius spray, that's worth something. That's $100 or so. You get the control box that has all the wiring, that's worth something. Some of the pipes and the junction fittings could be worth something. Otherwise, a golf course is just dirt and grass
Right.
and bunkers full of sand.
It's a lot of land. No one's it's that's why they have these putt-putt is on a 3-acre footprint. Golf course is on a 200-acre footprint. So
Right.
you
So
need a
when
lot
you
less land.
Right. So when you think about keeping a course just alive enough to restart it, you have to mow the grass for the fairways and the tees and the greens.
It wasn't 4 feet high and snakes and birds were all over the place
No.
like a swamp.
No, it's much harder. You can resuscitate a course, but it takes more work, and the quality of the turf is a lot worse. So they kept it in a sort of cryogenically frozen state, not unlike Ted Williams' head out in that place in Arizona.
Okay, that makes
But
sense.
there were still trees growing in the bunkers because 20 years you get a 30-foot, elm tree that has just sprouted up in fertile conditions. So he's
Yes.
in charge of lighting that thing up again, and
Oh,
I'm
boy.
happy for him. And let's hope the money doesn't run out again this time.
Hopefully not.
Yes.
And may he comp you many free rounds.
May I be an honorary member
Yes.
at no cost to the league.
No cost to Czabe.
So I do love having you on for Masters Friday because while you don't play golf, you are golf curious and you follow golf, and you always have a very unique sort of 45-degree angle take on things.
Well, this is the one tournament that I'll probably watch.
Right.
Yeah, there's about 355 days a year. You can guarantee I will not watch golf, but the couple days of each major, I might tune in, or a Ryder Cup or President's Cup. I did not watch the first round. I just looked at highlights, and I saw the par 3 highlights of those guys frolicking with their kids and whatnot. How cute. The privileged kids of these wealthy golfers.
Super privileged. I mean, little 1%ers with their nannies and their private jets.
Yes, it's going to be nice. But it's
Speaking
still
of
fun.
that, I got an email because I said, I love the par 3 contest. I find it to be very wholesome and enriching. And I love the coverage from Scott Van Pelt and Marty Smith and everything else. Well, Trent Whitney wrote to say, Czabe, I usually agree with your analysis of all things sports media, but I've got to take issue with your praise of yesterday's coverage of the par 3 at the Masters. If it wasn't Scott Van Pelt telling us how special the contest was, then it was his sidekick telling us how special this is. When they would kick it to their course reporter interviewing the golfers as they played, what was the question almost every time? Just how special is this contest?
It's very special. Thank you.
12.6 special. Oh, really?
The special scale.
What scale are you using there?
Not as good as a birth of a child, but better than a high school reunion. There you go. Somewhere in between.
And again and again, I eventually had to turn it off because the coverage was that bad and irritating. Why can't they just cover the event as it is and let the special things happen organically instead of telling us over and over about how special it was? Yeah, the kids and the wives and relatives and caddies being involved is great. Just let it happen. They don't have to talk over it like, this is a very special alert. Looking forward to your Masters. No, it's more of a
3.
No hush tones because they don't.
Rory McIlroy's 4-year-old daughter. There, she's attempting.
She missed by 18 feet. Oh,
did you see Poppy McIlroy?
I did see.
She just tapped in, tap. Just tapped in a putt that went in from 20 feet. I think she is about 4. What's crazy is that Rory. They had a picture of Rory, his beautiful blonde wife, and their daughter, and it was like 11 months ago, he filed for divorce.
Yeah.
He had missiles.
Balionis wasn't covering this, was she? She's nowhere covering
a scurrilous rumor that we are not going to entertain here for fear of any lawsuits.
Just
but
asking
it
about
was
my
out
favorite
there.
golf reporter, yes.
But yeah, Rory had missiles in the air, divorce-wise, 11 months ago, and now they're like, yeah, okay, well, we're here as a family.
Well, he saw his lawyers like, how much this? No prenup. Jeez. Got to take the houses. Oh,
Somebody
man.
did some big yellow legal pad line down the middle calculations, right?
Probably.
Left side, right side.
See, that is
You'll-
the perils of the wealth, I guess. We mock them for their privilege, but that's no one's divorcing me for my money, but they're gonna divorce Rory for his, I guess. But
Yeah,
good for
cheaper to
Poppy.
keep her, I guess. So Rory is playing great today, and everyone is sort of low key pulling for him because he has every other major but the Masters. He's come close a number of times. Everyone feels like this is his year. He's playing the best he has all year long, coming into this thing, and he just came to 15, the reachable par 5 over the pond. And he hits this great second shot, laser beam at the pin. It hits the green, but doesn't hold, rolls off the back. It's a tricky chip because it's steeply downhill away from you as you chip up to the green. And just before McIlroy, the inexorable Patrick Cantlay, fuck that guy, chipped it into the water from over the green, not once, but twice
Ooh.
en route to a snowman.
Can't lay up,
triple-
can you, Patrick? Heyo.
he hits it in there twice for a triple bogey 8. So here comes Rory, and he doesn't know what Cantlay did, but he knows that's a dicey chip. And what does he do? He chips it up there like it's just a regular old tour stop. Ball does not check, rolls past the pin, picks up speed, bloop, into the water.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I channeled my inner Paul Allen from the Vikings when Favre threw that INT. No, remember, I looked it up, by the way. I'm like, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. He just chipped it in the water.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Just
Dribble it onto the green, man. I mean, take a par and move on. This is the Masters. This isn't the Valspar.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's not like he's done, but it was a needless 7 for him right now. That was not the worst thing that happened today at Augusta. The worst thing that happened was an amateur peed in Ray's Creek.
No.
Yes.
Is that frowned upon? Was that wrong? I got to declare ignorance on that.
Well, here's the big question. We don't
Not Nick
know
Dunlap,
yet.
was it? Who was plus 18 on the day. That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
bad.
Nick Dunlap was drunk today.
You could have beaten him.
Stuck. Yeah, exactly. They probably had to say, how'd you get in the Masters? You stink. We stopped letting Gabe Brewer as a past champion tee it up and shoot 92 because it was embarrassing. What are you doing shooting 90? Golf is hard. What are you going to do? So this amateur, who first of all has the dumbest hat ever. Look up Luis Ballister's hat. In fact, let me, I'll text it to you right now. You able to get a text while I do
That's
this?
the worst looking hat I've ever seen. No, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay, here it is right here. So he's an Arizona State Sun Devil, and he shows up to the first tee with a Sun Devils hat in which the letters Sun Devils is upside down and backwards.
Interesting.
What the hell? I said on Twitter, I go, am I missing something on these hats? Because I'm oftentimes behind the curve.
Like an ambulance, it's backwards so that you can see it in a rear view mirror. Right?
As to what, maybe it is an ambulance hat. If you're upside down in your car and the rear view shows an ambulance, they'll be able to see where you went to school. So this guy, Jose Luis Ballister, on the 13th hole, is waiting for his playing partner, Xander Schauffele, to sort out some rules issue. And he had to pee. And so he went up into the hillside, into the trees, behind a bush, and took a piss into the creek.
Well, is that wrong?
Well, yes, I think so.
I bet Jack couldn't get through a round anymore without going in the woods, right? Or some of these older guys, Tom Kite going all around.
Since Scott's not here to play Evil Jack, I'll be his substitute today. Well, I wear the pens now, so I just piss in my pants. I don't have to. My days of pissing in Ray's Creek are over. But I once took a shit over by the Swilk. I took a shit over the Swilken Burn one time in the British. It was great. Road win.
Right on Amen Corner, huh? I would imagine most hackers, just use the woods, right? That's is it frowned upon at a course?
Well, it is frowned upon at many courses in housing developments because the residents don't like having people piss in their eyesight when they're out having a cup of coffee in
I
their
guess.
wonderful home they paid a lot of money for as part of their retirement. So there's signs up at some golf courses I've been to that say, "We will prosecute you. Here's
Really?
where the restrooms are." Yes.
Wow. Because, people who work in the out of doors, lawn mowing people or people who are delivery people, I would imagine that they pee every day in the woods somewhere. I know when I was door knocking, and if I was out for many hours at a time, I'd find a place where I'd pee because
When
you're
you were
outside.
running for the Montgomery County
Of
Council,
course. Yeah.
no wonder you didn't win. That would have been a
I don't
huge
think anyone saw
campaign
me.
scandal.
Well, if I'm out for like 7 hours, I gotta go, and I'm walking. I'm like, I would think I haven't seen.
Why don't you ask a constituent, do you mind if I take a piss in your
Excuse
house?
me.
And I'd
Good to
like
meet
your
you.
vote as well.
Yes, vote Solly. No, well, I think everyone. I would be shocked if they didn't pee. I guess if you're out working all day, a delivery driver or lawnmower or something, maybe you stop for lunch somewhere and pee. But when nature calls, I would imagine you have to hydrate a lot if you're working outside as well. Yeah, that leads to more peeing. So I would think it's fairly common that
It is a
occurs.
delicate balance because let's say you're on I-95 and you pull over with a wide shoulder and you go way up over the guardrail up into the woods, which I've done before to take a pee.
You just have to
You know,
open the passenger door, right, and stand behind it, right, so no one will see
I
you
don't do
coming.
that. No, I
Yeah.
usually go up into the woods. But I try to be discreet. If it's in a more public setting, like say a parking garage, there's considerations about how nice is the garage. Is it an outdoor garage? Is it an indoor garage? Is there cars nearby? More importantly, do you spot any cameras in the
Wow,
ceiling
that's even
nearby?
more important. Well, I've
Right.
never not peed. I've peed only in grass areas. I've never peed on a garage floor. That'll just sit there like a puddle, I think. I don't know. I guess
Yeah,
it'll
it'll sit
wash
like
away,
a
but
puddle and then it'll dry up and it'll
I
just
mean, my
smell like
dogs pee in this yard all day. It's just pee, and
yeah.
so I don't think I if the guy mowing our lawn peed out there, I was like, well, he's got to go. It's just pee, it'll
I've
seep
heard
to the
that
ground and they'll be gone.
I've heard that because dogs like to sniff and pee in the same spot all the time,
Okay.
that it can kill your grass. I seem to see more growth early in the springtime, right
I
where Tucker pees
oh,
every morning. So maybe it's giving
absolutely.
the grass some actual nutrients from his urine.
I think that's a myth that it kills grass because yes, our backyard is with the rain the last few days, it is lush and beautiful. I mean, there's our dogs dig, so there's holes, so it's not pretty. And I don't seed or mulch or anything, so it's not pretty either. But it grows just fine. So we have 10 years of 3 dogs peeing 5 times a day in this yard, not a scratch on it. So I don't think it kills grass. Maybe like a Great
Right.
Dane who drinks like a gallon a day. I don't know, but yeah, nothing from the dogs has killed this grass.
Either way, Ballister took relief. They say
Oh,
he took relief in a unusual way. That with his back to the grandstand, that's behind the 14th tee, he did his business, then got a loud round of applause from spectators who figured out what
yes,
was going
sir.
on. Maybe, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Give the
He
tiger
said,
fist bump.
well, I completely forgot that we had those restrooms to the left of the tee box on 14. He said sheepishly after shooting 76. This while playing with defending champion Scotty Scheffler and Justin Thomas. And then I'm like, I really need to pee. I didn't really know where to go. And since JT had an issue on the green, it was JT, not Xander. I'm like, I'm just going to sneak in here in the river and probably people would not see me that much. And then they clap for me.
There you
Probably
go.
one of the claps I really got today that was real loud. So that was kind of funny because he played like shit with his dumb upside down backward hap. The Spanish golfer who won the U.S. Amateur last summer plays at Arizona State and was asked if there might be any issues with Augusta National officials. Ballister could only smile, saying, well, they saw me. They saw me. It was not embarrassing at all for me. If I had to do it again, I would do it again.
Interesting.
This is where the green coats need to come on in and come in hard.
Oh,
They
you don't
need to
like it,
say, no,
huh?
there's
Oh.
got to be some decorum.
Well,
Son.
there's a man standing next to him holding a "Quiet, please" sign. So they really wanted him to enjoy this. If Dean Beeman famously would put extra grass and woods in the 6th and the 12th of every Dean Beeman design just for urination. That's no. I wouldn't
Was
be.
it
You think, yeah,
was the Dean Beeman pea patch that was out there?
yes, just extra grass and extra woods, good coverage so you can go in there and not be seen, and just some woods there to go pee.
Well, one of the guys on my golf text thread is on a rampage right now as we speak, saying he needs to be DQ'd from the tournament.
Wow, revoke his card if he has one. Or just kick him out of
and
Arizona.
other guys in the string are like, hey, bro, he didn't break any golf rules. It's an etiquette thing. You can't DQ him for this. No, I got to send a message. I do think, though, he should be reprimanded into making an apology, especially if he peed into the water, because someone might hit their ball in the water and want to go pluck it out and take a drop. Now they got his piss running
Oh, my God.
downstream.
He's wiping with the green jacket, Jim. I can't believe it, JR. Oh, disgusting. That's a disgusting guy.
If he had pissed in the matted pine straw behind a loblolly, nobody would have known of it.
Right.
You don't need to put that frothy yellow cup of coffee into the fucking stream itself, you heathen, and get a better hat. Get a better hat tomorrow.
That is a weird hat.
Augusta
Backwards
should say, we're going to give you the hat you're playing with today. Oh, no, thanks. I've got my own cap. Why, no, sir.
Wow.
This is the cap
sandwich.
This is the cap this is the cap you're going to use if you're going to play today. And make him wear a cap with big letters that says, I am stupid.
I am a peer.
Just, I am a peer. Right. Not a hat that says not potty trained. All right. I got to go back and watch the rest of this when it's over. Let's get to some other good stuff out there. Holy shit. Did you see what it was like in Dallas last night with Luka Doncic's return and Nico Harrison? And oh my God.
Fire Nico.
Just raining down on him. And he had to stand there, Solly, as the GM who traded him away for basically nothing and just take it. Even though I think it wasn't his call, I think it was that dum-dum Patrick Dumont, the in-law, the guy who married the Adelson daughter. So he's now running the Mavericks and is really a stooge.
Is that how he got that rich, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen Patrick Dumont?
No. Let me see.
Google him. He'll say, oh, my God, if he's as dumb as he looks, then the Mavericks are in trouble. Just a classic Todd with a bad haircut, might be a toupee, and has pretty much ruined the franchise. Luka got traded for a single first-round pick.
No, he got traded for Anthony Davis.
And Anthony Davis and a single first-round pick. But did you know that Michael Bridges or Mikal Bridges, I forget how you say his name, went for 5 first-rounders?
Oh, they throw these things away. Rudy Gobert went for 5 first-rounders.
4 first-rounders, right? Yeah, and I think a warm body. So this
Durant, I mean, if LeBron or Luka goes for that, I can understand. But my God, Rudy Gobert, who's great at rebounding, doesn't even score, and Bridges, who's okay, but he ain't winning nothing. I mean, it's crazy. They only have 2 picks a year, right? That's it, 2 rounds. And what the second one's usually traded for nothing or some Euro who never plays here. So
right.
That's crazy.
So Luka comes back, scores 46. The fans are chanting and cheering for him from the very first bucket. Yeah. They don't care about their own Mavericks team. They've pretty much gone full heel as a fan base. Several fans snuck in enough letters on cardboard signs to spell out Fire Nico, even though Dumont has cracked down aggressively on any signage that's negative in the arena itself. And you have to sit there and watch your young star that sold jerseys, was exciting as hell to watch, that took you to the finals last year. Yes. Play for your most hated rival, and you have to know that this dipshit GM and this bigger foof-headed, bought into the family or married into the family money dipshit owner or governor is going to run your team from now forward. You are so fucked. I don't think I've seen a nightmare quite this bad in a long time. Meanwhile, have you seen the situation with Durant in Phoenix?
No, I have not.
They're going to have to move him. They're already
Oh.
getting prepared to move on from Kevin Durant. And according to Windy, and when Windy speaks, I listen, especially when he's got
Wind
his
blows.
fingers out like this. He's going, okay, what's going on? Because Matt Ishbia has landed the Suns in such jail with their money and their lack of picks, because they gave away a ton of picks for Bradley Beal, who
Right.
stinks, and they're
Ugh.
trying to get rid of him, that they're not going to get much for Durant. And Durant's going to move on to another team in which it didn't work out. It has now not worked out for this supposedly generational player in three different spots. It didn't work out. It did work out with Golden State, but he ran to join the parade there.
Right.
It didn't work out in OKC, moved on. Didn't work out with the New Jersey Nets, moved on. Didn't work out with the Suns, he's moving on. I'm not so sure I'm not as sold on how great he is now as everyone wants to say he is.
Well, I mean, if those were the only title he got was Golden State, where they won it before him, and they won 73 before he got there. Remember, with Clay and Draymond and Steph, and he got there. I don't know if he was a ride along, but yeah, if he can't win anywhere else except Golden State, his legacy is not
legacy
is not
he
one
was
of
a
the 10 greatest of
turbocharger
all time or something like that.
Yeah, he was a turbocharger, not a ride along, but it was a turbocharger they probably did not need.
I don't know how they're this bad, because this is a team that made the finals and where Booker was the lead player. He's still there, right? Devin Booker is still their best player. But
Yes.
yeah, Durant and Beal, and I guess they're not even going to make the playoffs. And 10 teams make the playoffs. It's crazy. The Mavs and the Suns are fighting for that 10 spot.
And Ishbia supposedly knows ball. He played. Nice. He was on the very, very, very end of the bench at Michigan State, and then was it Rocket Mortgage or some other mortgage company that he earned his billions in, and bought the Suns. So a young guy who's right,
he hates
a young
mortgage,
guy.
remember?
Oh, you're right. He hates them. Okay, so whatever his mortgage company is, but he's a young guy, Solly, that supposedly knows basketball because he played, and he was talking shit like a year ago, going, 29 other teams in this league would love to have our roster. They'd love to have our salary cap situation. They'd love to have our draft picks.
I don't think anyone would now. Jeez, not so fast.
Yeah. No, exactly. Okay, couple of things. You sent me this note, and it's an issue that's right in my backyard. Yes. The town of Purcellville, Virginia, which has had one of the most sparkling records for being a low crime city on the western edge of good old Loudoun County, Virginia. In a 4-2 vote of the town council with one member absent, I guess they had a haircut that night, voted to defund the Purcellville Police Department. And people are losing their shit without even any discussion. They brought it up at the end of a town meeting, Solly. And they're okay, anything else on the agenda?
Any new business?
Oh, yeah.
New business. Yes, we need a new bathroom at the golf course. Yes, you can see what Luis has done. Passed. Also, we wanted to fund the whole police department. Okay.
All in favor, passed.
Is Purcellville an incorporated city? Because usually it's the incorporated cities
is not.
That have their own police force.
It is not. They say that they're going to have the county police, Loudoun County
they will
Police.
Now. It's not going to be Deadwood over there, lawlessness, right?
Well, I hope not. But they say that
Purcellville robbed some stores. Ain't no police over there, huh?
But here's what's crazy. The Purcellville Police Department was founded in 1908. And when we moved out here, way out to the burbs, you know how far away it is. You came once, you saw, you conquered. I've got photos of it.
I saw. I played football.
All right. You played football. So, when we moved out here in 2008, it was a far smaller city. It has certainly grown up a lot. It's probably tripled in size, not just with the businesses and downtown infrastructure, but also the housing built up around it. So the notion that you would get rid of their police force now is ludicrous. And I don't care how much overlap there may be. That's an expense you go, yeah, we're going to cut something else.
Right.
And don't say, well, we're low crime anyway, because, there's a lot of rich people out here and it's far away from everything. And we already have the Loudoun County Police. Don't fuck around to find out, Because the first bad crime incident that happens after you defund the police is going to get people completely stirred up. And also, you got to bring this up to the citizenry and give them time to comment and to organize and say, yeah, we don't want this. They're jamming this through, Sully. So what do I do now as a concerned citizen?
As the leading citizen of Purcellville area there, is it, well, this might be a dumb question, but with the large amount of property tax that they probably bring in, a lot of big houses out there, why can't they afford the police? What else are they spending on? I mean,
that's what I want to know.
Gold
Show
sinks
me the
hall?
city budget. Right. Show me where the money is going and tell me why we can't afford at least a couple of Barney fucking Fifes to roll around and give out speeding tickets to everybody not named me.
Just to at least, 8,800 people in Purcellville. That's a decent sized town there. And yeah, that's kind of crazy that they just
so you being a guy that has run for a city position,
right?
did not win. One day you will. You'll punch through. I hope so.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's a big racket. I know.
It's a pain in the
why?
ass,
How does this shit happen, Solly? I need you to explain to me because I don't follow this at all.
Well, I don't know the Purcellville budget specifically, but I know how it works for incorporated cities like we have, like Rockville, Gaithersburg.
Forget the money and the police thing. I just want to know about the city council thing. How is it that 6 idiots or 4 of the 6 idiots could make a decision so unpopular with no recourse?
Well,
there's got to be a better way to govern a small city like this.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Is there a mayor of Purcellville, or is it just the city council who runs things? Okay.
We do have a mayor. Don't know who he or she or they or them are.
In Montgomery County, the only laws I really know in Montgomery County, where we have 11 council members now, if they decide to do something completely outrageous and they just need a 6-5 vote to do anything, the county executive can veto something. And then they need a super vote to override it. They need, I believe, 9 of the 11 to vote to override his veto. So if they wanted, so you'd need 9 or 10 or 11 all agree on something to override. And that's only happened a couple of times. Like in Congress, there's rarely been veto overrides. It happens at local, like at Maryland, it happens constantly. Like when Larry Hogan, a Republican, was governor and the state legislature was overwhelmingly Democratic. I think he vetoed 138 things, and they super overrode his veto 138 times. So it's fairly easy to do when you have a super majority of one party. So I don't know if it's partisan stuff there at Purcellville, or maybe one of the county council or city council people has their own private security. Why, now it's time for Johnson Security to come in as a contractor to Purcellville. That's what we're going to make a bundle. We're going to make a bundle. I'm sure there's something to this because, you don't want to cut your police. They seem to be protecting and serving.
Yeah, I would want to keep them much as I could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just let's skimp elsewhere, as they say in the Grey Poupon commercial, right? Is that Grey Poupon or is that Boar's Head Meats? I forget which one it is.
Perhaps
okay.
Past the Grey Poupon.
All right. There's also this. Scott Van Pelt on his podcast with Stanford Steve had a great point about how little people understand how the media works. And they're always asking Van Pelt and Stanford Steve for tickets to events.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're right.
That's funny.
Well, Maryland, I'm sure he's got the hookup at College Park. He can get any ticket he wants, right? But I don't think he has any tie to the Commanders or Capitals. Like, what if people want tickets to the OV game or something? But I don't think he has any ties to that.
Yeah, let me try to play it for you, and maybe you can hear it. But yeah, he basically said people think that we're just sitting on a stack of tickets, and that they can hook them up whenever. And on the one hand, I understand their frustration because I get that as well to a lesser extent. People know that I'm not really famous and don't really have any pull, but they always just want to ask just in case.
When your station is the proud holder of rights of a team, you often do get tickets, right? Do you guys get Packers tickets or Bucks or
No.
Brewers or any of that
I
stuff?
can get them if I ask early enough
Right.
and if I'm persistent enough, but it's
Right.
not a guarantee.
I mean, I remember when you're the flagship station of a terrible team, they can't give them away because you get like, I don't know, they got 10. I forget how many tickets we got to the suite for the Wizards or Caps or whatever, and no one wanted to go. I remember the emails almost every. Hey, got 10 tickets for the Wizards if anyone wants, because no one wants the tickets because they were terrible. So those are easy to get. I don't think anyone ever asked me for Wizards tickets, nor did I ever try to get them. But yeah, the good teams, I would assume it's hard to get, and they ain't just giving them away. Even when we were the Redskins flagship station, we didn't get like a big allocation for tickets. We had, because salespeople would never give them to the other side of the building. They'd have to give those to clients and stuff like that. So I guess it's team by team and person by person.
I'm looking for the audio, of course. I could have sworn that I liked it, bookmarked it, texted it to a fellow person on my show or the producer or somebody. I now cannot find it for love nor money. This is what being drowned in social media is all about. I think I saw it in bed last night, or could have been
Is it
this
on the
morning.
Dan Patrick show here?
No,
Because he was on Dan Patrick.
no. This was a double stacked TikTok. I'm pretty sure, which usually gets repurposed onto Twitter, but I can't find it now.
The SV
Anyway.
Pod. He has his own podcast too. Jeez, I didn't even know that. The SVP Pod, huh?
Yeah, why not? Right?
I guess.
Why not
Well,
having
he's on Sports Center every night. I didn't know he had time for more. But
why leave it all to chance for ESPN since they can change their mind
I know,
on
true.
a whim? Okay, one or two more things, and then we're done here. We've had a good run so far. Death Chip. Frito-Lay or Tostitos has announced the highest recall warning they have.
Oh, wow.
For a certain batch of Cantina yellow corn chips.
Oh, no. DEFCON 1, huh? Do not eat this chip.
It is DEFCON 1 or Death Chip. They say that this batch of chips was processed in a way in which they contain a significant enough amount of milk or dairy that somebody with a severe dairy allergy could suffer serious consequences or even death.
Wow, that's some bad. It was also in Ray's Creek right before Luis Ballesteros said. But how does that happen? I always wonder about recalls. I'm like, why did they screw this one up? I mean, isn't this pretty down? Don't they have these? It happens usually with cars, right? You always see this because like the 2019 Accord has a faulty chip. Like, why did they change the 18 Accord for this chip? If that's why I always wonder, how did they screw this up? But it happens fairly routinely in cars, I guess, and other things. I don't think I've ever had a recall on anything that I've owned and had to change it, but like they always announce it for foods and stuff like that. But yes, if you have this batch and it'll have this serial number, that's why they are very cautious about serial numbers and batches of everything, just in case they have to pin down an exact one. Yeah, but a bunch of razors fell in the vat while we were making it. I don't know.
We don't know where they are right now or who has them, but good luck. Be careful.
Shoot carefully.
So here's the hypothetical question of the day. Imagine it is a Hunger Games like dystopian world. And every year the elites send out one death chip in a bag to be consumed by somebody unwittingly. Would you circumvent eating a chip ever again if you knew there was a 1 in 300 million chance
any type
that
of
you
chip
caught
or
the death chip? No, a corn chip, the likes of which Tostitos makes.
Oh, I mean, they are the king of the corn chip, right? That's their number one thing.
It would be a corn chip, Sully. It would not be a potato chip.
Right.
Would not be a pretzel chip. Would not be a cracker. Would not be a goldfish. But the classic chip you use for nachos, for dipping, for a side
I mean,
with your burrito.
I'm not a huge chip person. I like them at Mexican restaurants. I will down them with salsa, usually the ones that place made. But I don't think I've eaten a Tostitos chip in a while. If it was like a Kit Kat, which I consume 300 to 400 a year of, then I'd be like, if there's just one out there, chances are very slim I'll got it. I'm going to keep eating the Kit Kats.
Solly, I'm glad you got onto the Kit Kats. I'm dying to ask you some questions. Question number one.
I love Kit Kats.
Do you make sure to refrigerate them before consuming?
I am a chocolate refrigerator, always have been. I refrigerate all chocolates, Hershey's Kisses, Kit Kats, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
A soft, unrefrigerated Kit Kat is, to me, inedible. Disgusting.
Like anything where the chocolate will stick on your hand when you open it.
Quickly melt.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's number one. Good. Secondly, where do you stand on the Big Cat?
The Big Cat. I just get the snack size, the two wafer piece.
Wafer.
The two bit wafer, because that's good for a snack. And I have one pretty much after every meal. As to cleanse the palate. I either eat a Kit Kat or a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And yeah, I spend at least $500 a year on those two things. But yeah, so I just eat the two. I've never had a Big Cat. I'm sure it tastes the same. It's just bigger. So
Solly, you and I are really brothers from another mother in that regard. I always have to have a little mini dessert
absolutely
after a meal.
It cleanses the palate. I mean, almost no matter what I eat, you need something chocolatey after the meal.
Something sweet.
Maybe that's why we're both fat. So hey,
you're okay. I'm in a bad spot right now.
No, we're both not fat. We're both under 2 something. So we're both in the 2s, right? As far as I know. So
have you seen Jelly Roll lately?
No. Has he lost all his weight?
No, not all of it, but he's down from 550 to 350.
Oh, well, not bad. That's getting there.
He says he's got another 100 pounds to go, and then he's got to go skydiving with his wife in Sweden, whatever that means. I heard him say this last night on Scott Van Pelt's, or not Scott Van Pelt, but on Pat McAfee's live event in Pittsburgh called Pat McAfee Show's Big Night at AHT with that Yinzer accent. He had Jelly Roll come out and perform. He gave away $2 million at the end to a fan who turned out to be an Eagles fan, which is talk about goal? Not even.
McAfee, and I'm just thinking, that's good for him. He doesn't get enough exposure, so I'm glad that he had some special event to do something. That's good. He should. It's about time. Jeez.
Well, anyway, he was on last night, and Jelly Roll was there. I would say that's fat, but I don't. The road to 550,
right?
Go through 250.
Exactly. I've always told myself, I'm never going to get to 250. If I ever get to that, I'll start dieting, eating better, exercising. Never got there. I don't think.
So what are you at?
210. I never got past 230
okay.
in my fattest of days. And basically, if I can walk up and down the stairs a few times, it's enough to keep me at 210. So I picking up dog poop for 10 minutes a day is the amount of exercise I get. So that's enough to keep me at a decent weight. So yeah, I'll never be Jelly Roll or anywhere close.
All right. Are you going to the Minecraft movie this weekend?
I know less about Minecraft than you know about calculus. It's very.
So you never played it.
I never played it.
It was not our generation, by the way.
Right. We're too old.
My daughter's generation, who's 23 years old now. She played Minecraft
right before Pokemon, but after Legos, I guess. But yeah, I know nothing about it.
The movie with Jack Black and the guy who plays Aquaman is Jason Momoa is going very well. They're making a lot of money, but they've got a problem on their hands, and that is teenage boys in particular, are waiting for one part of the movie where Jack Black says chicken fight, and they then erupt and start throwing popcorn all over theaters and just going crazy. And theaters are sick of it. They're glad anyone's coming to the theater anymore because it's a dying business. but they don't want to have to spend a lot of man hours cleaning up all this shit. And the
Is this
videos
just
online.
a viral thing? What's the rationale behind this? Just because, hey, someone thought of, hey, whenever he says this part in a movie, we're going to throw popcorn, and people are doing it.
Yes, they're dipshit. I don't even know if they're Gen Z. Are we not? Is there not a generation after Gen Z? What is a 16-year-old? No, millennials ahead of Gen Z. Goes millennial, Gen Z, and then we're Gen X. So it's boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z.
I don't even know what the ranges are of any of these ages, but
20 years. 20 years is a generation. So
okay.
Well, anyway, all right. So you're not doing that. What are you doing for the weekend?
None of your business. No, I don't know what I'm doing.
Damn
yeah,
right.
not a movie. I haven't been to a movie in ever. I don't go to movies.
You're going to watch a little bit of the Masters.
That's right.
You're going to pick up dog poop.
Yes.
You're going to have a Kit Kat.
That's
and
right.
Life is going to be good.
I'll pee in a creek just for in honor of Luis and wear a Sun Devils hat back.
All right, very good. As always, the Lynn Murray Solly podcast. I am on there every Tuesday, barring a brain fart that makes me forget entirely. And I would have done it, but I was indisposed. I was in the middle of a car ride with the family, and I was like, I can't do it right now.
That's okay.
We're out just driving around. But otherwise, every Tuesday with them over at theirs, free trial now through the end of April. Go get it and enjoy. And then they join me here on Fridays. Best to Scott. We missed you, buddy. Slow down this weekend and enjoy some parent and father time. Thanks for listening, everybody. More importantly, thanks for being a subscriber. Tell a friend, spread the word, rate and review, as we like to say, and have a great Masters weekend. Don't pee in creeks, especially not Rays Creek. And we will see you next time.